everybody, how you going? So today, I just want to show you, I make these little concertina art pieces, which kind of they're my inspiration for, maybe a larger piece. And, or, you know, you could make them into a card, you could make them into anything really. But I just wanted to show you how to create one of these. This is made with small cards, small playing cards. Goodness, I forgot the name of it. Playing cards are below this. And what I'm doing today though is made from, these are called jumbo playing cards. So they're quite a lot bigger than just the normal card. And they just lend themselves to, you can work on them and obviously in different layers. But today I'm just going to show you, first of all, how to set it up and how to put that first initial ground cover on. And yeah. So first thing, obviously 3 cards. You can make it as large as you want, really, I suppose. It doesn't have to be just a 3-card stand. And this is a very simple thing. You don't really need, you do need some masking tape and scissors and a ruler, and look, a board is really good. So what I do is, first of all, I suppose I should I need to choose, I use an A4 print. So this particular pack is my backgrounds, and I have yet to make a book for my backgrounds. So that's still on the go. I need to make one of those. But all these backgrounds are, that's exactly what they are. They're just a background. There's some I haven't used. And so I decided today that I would actually use one of them anyway, and in an A4 sort of, maybe an A4, maybe that one actually will do. It's not actually A4, it's very thin paper, but it's kind of nearly the same size as A4, so it should be alright. Before I've used prints that I've printed out and jelly printed on, or just A4 jelly prints. You've probably got some. Right, so with that in place. So I first of all lay this down. So this is square, this one here, and it's stationary on the table. Now the line in here, this thick line, because you have to kind of leave a little gap in between the cards so that they can actually fold over perfectly. If I was making one of these and I wanted to sell it or something like that, I would be far more measuring and so forth. But really, this is probably only about 2 of these cards together equal probably 1 mil. They're very thin. So what I do on this is I actually just use that line as the card thickness, and then I cut just a piece of and then holding that down, and then we just double check it before I go any further to make sure that it went on. Yep. So that's all you do really, and then I would cut the ends off to square them up. You can also sticky tape both of the pieces of card down if you find that easier. Could go like so. So how to line that up perfectly. maybe like that, and then get a piece of tape, a little bit longer. Make sure that that's straight though. See how that's actually, I've managed to make that move somehow. And the reason that you want that to be, you know, that area to be perfectly the same is just so that there's no, when it folds clean. Okay, so that was pretty hard. So this is my concertina display of mixed media or inspirations or whatever I'm actually going to make it into. So that's pretty much the basis of it. Now the next step, so they're all fabulous. They all fold inside each other. Lovely. So the next step obviously is to work out exactly, you know, where you're going to put this. And what I do is I put glue down on the ball, on the first up on the paper, making sure you get every bit. Like so. Then we lay this down right to the edge. Even if it is a rough edge, I'm not bothered by that. Then on this one, I put glue on the card. Like so. Then folding it over and pushing down like that. Getting a knife and just running down that edge, cutting off that piece. And my bone folder is somewhere. Okay. Okay, by doing it that way you don't get any glue on the table or anything like that. Yeah, which is kind of a bit annoying. Now this bit here, I actually glue on this. Now you can decide, sometimes it's not quite large enough, which this isn't, but that's okay. Because obviously you're going to collage and ink work and stamp and intuitive script and do all sorts of things on the top of this. So moving it right to the edge again. Not really what happened there on that little bit, but that's okay. Push it down. I'm going to leave that middle bit where the card's showing through because that's probably easier to cover up than on the other side. And then this one is going to go to there. Now you're going to have this bit, this little bit that's really annoying that's left over from the A4 piece of paper. And that's all. There's always this little tiny square that you have to find something or fill it in with something along the way. You could find another similar piece of paper if you wanted to out of your, your prints. It was kind of similar in some. See, that's actually the same paper, so I could just take a piece of that and put it on there just to make it all equal, maybe. Maybe that one there actually would be better. So I may do that, or another jelly print, or another, you know, something that makes it all kind of even at this point. I'll just put some glue on there, push down there, and then just flip it over and cut it off. Alright, so that's your first layer. Absolutely done. My puppy dog has just come in. SJ, go lie down, boy. Good boy. Okay. Alright. Put that back in there because that can still be put. Righto. So, need to fold in whichever way you're going to fold it. And so that's the first part of the process. Alright, so I have just gone and got a whole lot of coffee, stained gesso, printed paper. So these are things I've made that I've printed out on the printer. I've then coffee dyed or used my coffee dyed clear gesso on them because they've actually got tooth. You can kind of hear the tooth on them from the clear gesso with the dye in it, so it kind of looks like coffee. This one's not as light. This one here is quite a lot darker. So there's those, and then there's other things that I you know, that I've printed out and so forth, or made glassine, you know, printed out on the and made some glassine paper. So I have a whole heap of those to choose from. So what I'm doing is I'm just actually getting together maybe 3 items on each side of the work. The thing has to be, it doesn't have to be, I suppose, it doesn't have to be the same on either side. It could be different, but I like it probably to be similar. I don't know why, because really you don't need to do that. And I'm just going to use this and glue. Oh, I actually recycle my paper. So when I print, as you can see by this side here, when I print, I actually print on paper that's already been used. Some of my papers I print on are really really beautiful papers, and I like to, you know, reuse them. Other than that, some of them are onion skin and things like that. None of these are actually onion skin. So I'm just going to add these 3. So this is my next step. I add a couple of focal points, 3 focal points to the actual piece, and gluing them down. And then I'll do the same to the other side. I'll find 3 pieces that kind of work on the other side for the moment and glue those down, and then I'll let it dry, and then I'll come back to the next step. Okay. You see that I've actually started to just collage some properties that are similar, you know, to sort of the ancient thing that I'm going, because as you know, that's what I always am making, you know, some ancient things. But you don't need to. This is just a process. These are the things that I have in my studio that I use when I'm just creating something, getting an idea, having a play. You may have a whole heap of butterflies and a whole heap of really bright colored stuff and I would love to see that, because I always get inspired by other people's works, as always we all do. So I don't know whether if you've collaged before, if you haven't collaged before, it doesn't really make much difference. The idea is to have it pleasing to the eye. Okay, so at this point, this is just a piece of script that I've printed out, and as I said, gessoed, and I've put some black ink, watered down black ink over the top of it, just so that it looks older. On this side, I've overlapped the actual stamp that I glued on, and I probably might put, that there. I might put it this way. So it is a bit of a play with things until you get, and it only has to look right to you. It's like what you like to look at. Art is in the eye of the beholder and all that. Well, it's very much, that's very much true with collaging and making things that are what you like to look at, especially if you're making it for you to look at. Yeah. So if it's on a seam, just make sure that that's actually kind of glued down pretty well, because the seam will push it. I'm just going to build up with a couple more pieces and let this dry, and then I will be back. Hi guys, so I'm just back. This is all dried, and then of course what I did was I made it all wet again, but that's okay. I actually put a bit more watery ink on some of the areas because I just wanted them to look a bit more grungy. Now this side of it is this side of the piece has this sort of teal color. So I've grabbed a couple of things that have got that color in them that have just been lying around, because it's one of my, it is one of my colors, that I do use in quite a lot of things. So I even found this piece here, get that out of my hand, of teal, which was that circle I think I cut off the door at some point. So we could utilize any of these to sort of, blend them together. Obviously each picture is different, and so you can, I thought that what I would do would be just glue some of that coloring down just to give it a bit more vibrantness. There's no such word as that, but anyway. And these pieces are kind of, they match in very nicely with the background piece. Also, I'm going to probably add a couple more of different kinds of scripts. So I've got a couple of pieces that have been ripped off prior. And the other thing is I was going to stamp. Now I thought the stamp would be interesting because just a little stamp, and I probably will test it on something first anyway, because I wanted to use the teal, this teal. In fact, I might just do that. I might just do it, 3 spots. Okay, done. It's a gorgeous archival ink by Ranger, that one, the Paradise Teal, but it does actually match in perfectly with all the others. So with that down, I can at least cover up some of it if I don't want it all there, or blend in some other things. So just remember that each little picture is, it is, you can have it obviously looking like the 3, but also they are individual. And sometimes when I'm doing this, I can see a bigger picture, like, a bigger collage or an idea or something like that. So I'm just going to do that, and then I'll come back and show you that one, and then I'll do the other side. Okay, right, back soon. All right, so that's that. So I think that there's enough done on that one. Just going to pop a bit of ink. That's my ink I use for my script. And this one is going here. And this one I want this way. All right. So that is that one done. Individually, obviously, they look completely different. There's that one, and then there's that one. So I have to let that one dry, and then I will do the other side of it, because obviously it's something that can sit up on the shelf, you know, and inspire you, or, you know, a small gift, anything really. It's your art. Okay, I shall be back in a moment, and I'll do the other side. Alright, so we finished this side, and it's all beautiful and dry, and I love it. Now, this side of the picture has the couple of vases and a jug and some script and so forth already glued onto this was the background, and I did wash it the same as the other side. So I'm probably going to do a little bit similar, but what I decided to do with this one was actually I wanted to use some stamps in this, yeah. So I chose a few different kind of stamps, but I decided that this particular set, which is a universe set, so that's kind of cool, and it has astrological sort of symbols and things on it, and stargazing things. So I thought that I would use those, maybe those three. I might not use them all, yeah, but I will see. And of course script, because script is my thing. And so I'm just going to play, and if I think I'm going to follow maybe the same color on some of them, you know, the teal as this one, just so that it's kind of similar, you know, yeah, on both sides. Okay, so what I'm going to do, hi SJ, puppy dog's coming in. What I'm just going to do is work out where I want these. I'm thinking it's going to be kind of like that. I might do this one here teal, and then we'll just see from there. And then a faded one over there maybe. think I'm going to make this one black though, but I only want half of it. I don't want all of it, and my blacks are they're not working very well, so just bear with me for a second while I get one out and just see whether it's even working or not, because these are not expensive ones, and they take a little bit. Now if I put that on, it's going to be quite pale. I might actually just rub some ink onto that one and go again. Oh yes, okay, I love that. It's kind of, just might put that, be very faded down here on the bottom, but that's okay. It's just a sense. So lots of circles, lots of circles. Okay, now beautiful. North, south, east, west. Okay. I'm just going to let that dry for a second. That's kind of a start. I think that there needs to be maybe some gold scripting, and I might use my liquid gold. So I might go and get that. Okay. Be back in a sec. It missed a beat, my camera. So I did some scripting along here just with a gold pen, and I also put some square ink on there with this square ink pad that I love so much along here. Now from this point I would, because it's very busy now, but remembering it's going to actually stand up, so you're not going to always see, you know, all of it. So I'm going to work individually now, and I feel that this bit down here is a bit too much, and I'm going to put a piece of frottage I've done, the stamp, I think I did that with gold wax, something like that, a while back online. I think I did that online. Anyway, it's kind of, it's translucent, and I'm going to put this bit here just to knock down that down a little bit, you know. I'll try both pieces, but I think this actually needs quite a significant piece. So that's the one that I'm going to put on there. I mean, it was on translucent paper, so you can still see what's underneath it. But yeah, you can't see all of it, which for me makes it better. I don't know whether I'm going to do any black in it, but it's very busy, that particular little picture. This one here, so you can see the script. You can see the constellation sort of, you know, stamp, and a bit down here. Not that it looks like a constellation stamp, because I didn't do it really hard. I think I want to add a little bit of black along here, and also just a script. And then on this one, it's kind of on the side, and it's got the compass sort of at the top. So I'm feeling like it needs something here the same as that first one. So I might just, I might use some of this to block out. Maybe not quite that much. Yeah, I think I'm going to use that. And then I might do a little bit of ink work on that too. I'm just going to have that there. Just knocking back a bit. Where is my, there it is. My wet one. This one's very busy, this side. Okay, so, and on that, I'm really not sure I need anything, to be quite honest. But in saying that, I'm just going to put a bit of intuitive scripting down the side. Okay. So I think that's it for those three. I won't do any more to them. Wow, that's so busy. It's such a small little thing. But it gives me a great idea of different layouts, and, you know, if I was doing something with a focal point that was in this sort of type, you know, what colours go to these natural colours. But it does show what goes together, you know, placement of the item, you know, as I've done before, you know, where you place items, the focal point. What is the focal point? I've done that layout. There's on my videos, there's a layout section that you can print out. I think it's on my Facebook page, actually, Judy Armstrong Studio Group Facebook page. I think it's still on there. I must check that. That you can print out for free. Anyway, all right. I probably will show you the wine one that I've done too after this, if you're interested. It's very different to what I normally do, but I did go away and I was a bit inspired by, you know, all the wineries and so forth. So all right, you have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. I will put the pictures up of the other one after this. Okay, bye.